Brother Scott Hicko's 13th article. Romans walk path to salvation. I was at a party one night out by the fire. A Christian girl asked me, how many people have I saved? She asked me if I used Romans walk, which was the name for the following, the book of Romans, to save someone. I said no, but chose to explore the book of Romans to see what the Apostle Paul had to say. I'm going to sum up what some of his verses say, so please look up the scripture for yourselves to get the verses in their entirety. The first of the verses that caught my attention were in chapter 3:23. That said, by works of law no flesh will be justified in God's eyes, for through the law is the recognition of sin. Then it is stated that the only righteousness we as humans can receive is apart from the law and only through Jesus Christ's faith. Again, in verse 28, it is repeated that man shall be justified by faith apart from works of law. Then it makes sense to me because so many religious people are all about rule following the 10 Commandments, doing what is right, listening to the rules that Jesus and God have set forth. But here in Romans, the Apostle Paul says that we are justified by faith, and this is separate from law. You see, law and the following rules has no place in our salvation. The only reason laws were given by God was to show us that we cannot follow them and that we are sinners. In chapter 10, verse 4, it is said that Christ is the consummation of law. So Romans walk then teaches us that we cannot uphold the law, for all have sinned, but Jesus Christ upheld the law perfectly. So by believing that Jesus Christ died and raised from the dead, we share in his perfect life, and therefore we are saved. So it is by the faith of Jesus Christ and believing in him that we are saved, not following any rules. Salvation is of pure grace. And verse 11:16, the Apostle Paul explains that grace and works cannot mix. In essence, if you believe that Jesus Christ died for you and then add works to it, then you completely nullify grace. Also, if you try to be justified by following the law and then believe in Jesus Christ, you nullify the works of the law. To summarize, Paul is saying that you can only be saved by believing in Jesus Christ, and any human attempt to follow rules or comes to some self-righteous act to aid the cross of Christ for salvation denies the work of Christ. Therefore, by faith and faith alone, we are saved. So that begs the question, what must a man or woman do to be saved? The answer is to come to the realization that Jesus Christ's death and resurrection has saved you. Do you need to have faith? Yes, but that faith is given to us by God in varying degrees. Romans 12:3-4. Therefore, the entire process of salvation from start to finish is entirely of God. God chooses some to come to faith now, and he will choose the rest later. Every single human being is saved and will be with God in heaven, but each will be saved in his or her own order according to God's sovereign choice. Romans 11:32 states that God locks up all together in stubbornness so that he could have mercy on them all. As a result, all humans will be saved according to God's mercy and grace, not according to their works, not according to their free will, faith, choice, or anything else. My bad. I'm going to close with the fact that in chapter 9 of Romans, Paul talks about Jacob and Esau. God says that the destiny of these men were set before they were even born, before they did anything good or bad. Therefore, it is not up to man, but up to God's sovereign choice. We do not have free will, but are chosen by God. And then he orchestrates all for his desired outcome in his timing. In every end, God will be all in all. Every single human being will be home with God and will put on immortality. Eternal hell is a myth and is not part of God's plan. Jesus Christ and God, through love and sovereignty, attest to this fact that no man, woman, nor child will be separated from God in a fictitious eternal hellhole, but all will be reconciled through the cross of Jesus Christ. Love, peace, and grace to all who are listening. God bless all of you. I love all of you, and thank you for tuning in. Please leave a comment, and tell me what you think of this article. I would appreciate any feedback you give me.